Tonight, more details are emerging about the suspected gunman. As Ray Strickland explains, former classmates say he had a troubled past.
Hours after the suspected Dayton mass shooter, 24-year-old Connor Betts allegedly unleashed a deadly rampage at a popular entertainment district.
Making sure that everything was safe.
Police searched his home.
I think they cleared the house and a few of the vehicles that were here.
It's shocking, it's sad.
While neighbors were left stunned.
We didn't notice anything in the neighborhood that was suspicious or anything like that.
He was known for being scary.
But Jennifer Hagedorn, who went to school with him at Bellbrook High School, says Betts showed signs of potential violence.
But he made a hit list of girls he wanted to rape while we were in high school.
A list that got him kicked out of school before she says he was later allowed back.
I definitely remember him being someone you didn't want to mess around with.
Betts graduated from Bellbrook in 2013. He ran track there before going on to attend Sinclair Community College. She says he had friends and wasn't a loner, but went on to say he was a troubled kid.
After there were other shootings like Sandy Hook happened, I remember someone telling me that, like, oh, well, like, what if he did that?
And what Hagedorn and her classmates thought he could do is what police say he did, killing 9, including his sister Megan, injuring more than 24, and according to police, all of it happening in about 30 seconds. A half-minute of terror, Hagedorn says, never had to happen.
And also, according to police, Betts did not have a criminal history. His record showing only minor traffic violations. As we said, police searched his home in Bellbrook looking for clues and any insight into what could have happened. But Lena, again, so far, they have not released any motive.
All right. Thanks so much, Ray.
Today, survivors in some of the nation's most infamous mass shootings spoke to students in Youngstown. Channel 3's Ray Strickland shares their story with us tonight.
5 different people, 5 different stories, yet the 5 have the same mission. Each of them have been affected by the world's ugliest of evils, mass shootings and hate crimes. But they've turned their pain into an unrelenting quest to make the world a much better place.
What's happening in this country right now, it's not normal.
One of them is Fred Guttenberg. He lost his daughter Jamie when a gunman shot and killed 17 people at a high school in Parkland, Florida, Valentine's Day last year.
I live with this image in my head of my daughter running down this hallway with an active shooter at her back.
Guttenberg was joined by 4 people affected by some of the nation's most high-profile tragedies, including survivors of shootings at Sandy Hook in Connecticut and Pulse nightclub in Orlando. They spoke to students and community members in Youngstown during a panel discussion called Surviving and Moving Forward, where they touched on topics of mental health and gun safety.
Because I am constantly aware of the suffering that my son caused.
Sue Klebold is the mother of one of the Columbine High School shooters whose son Dylan was suicidal. Mental health is important to her.
If we can create distance between a very disturbed person and a firearm when they are vulnerable, we can save lives.
But improving school security and the nation's gun laws are also something the group believes needs to be done.
We must talk about it and we must be honest about it.
An honest and brave conversation they're having in hopes to spark some type of change.
Everybody, as an American citizen, has a responsibility to stand up to hate.
That we're working to save your kids, your parents. It's important work and we're not going to stop doing it.
And I did speak to a Youngstown State University student who attended today's event. He says he's been inspired to step up and advocate on behalf of some of these issues. And that's what this group wants people to do. Get inspired and get involved. Reporting in Youngstown, Ray Strickland, Channel 3 News.
We begin tonight with news of an Akron police officer getting heat for a post on Facebook targeting Minister Louis Farrakhan.
The Akron Police Department confirms the post was made on October 30th. Our Ray Strickland has been working on this story as some are calling for an investigation into the matter. He joins us live in Akron tonight. Hi, Ray.
Hey, how you doing, Sarah? And for those who don't know, Minister Louis Farrakhan is the head of the Nation of Islam. This Akron police officer posting on Facebook that he is surprised no one has killed him yet. And for an officer who took an oath to protect and serve his community, some are calling his comments scary and disturbing.
It's hard to fathom.
This post made by an Akron police officer appears to reference the head of the Nation of Islam, Minister Louis Farrakhan.
And his position out here serving and protecting individuals in this community, it's scary that he would feel that way.
The president of Akron's NAACP, Judy Hill, says what the officer wrote is unacceptable.
There's a fine line between someone's right to free speech and that kind of rhetoric. That kind of rhetoric is not what a police officer who says he's here to protect and serve would do.
The Akron Police Department confirms an Akron police officer made the post on October 30th. We're not naming him because he has not been charged with the crime. This post comes just 6 days after a gunman with anti-Semitic views killed 11 people during a worship service at a Pittsburgh synagogue.
Say good word or keep quiet.
Imam Nader Taha is the spiritual leader at the Islamic Society of Akron and Kent. He says the post underscores the growing amount of hateful rhetoric in America.
Those kind of statements is not accepted. It is rejected in Islam, and I believe in every religion that teach acceptance of others.
Taha says the Akron Police Department has invited him to talk about diversity before. He says he believes they'll do the right thing. In the meantime, Hill is demanding accountability and a thorough investigation.
And I'd like to see someone publicly talk about what they're going to do and how we're going to address this issue.
And Sarah, I reached out to the Akron Police Department for comment about this post. I spoke to an Akron police spokesperson, and he says that they weren't aware of it, and they will be looking into this post. But I'm supposed to get some more information on what will happen to this officer, if anything, on Monday. Reporting live in Akron, Ray Strickland, Channel 3 News.
We will certainly follow up then. Thanks, Ray.